Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tour de France 24, episode number 7. I lead after 6 stages in the Dauphiné, the Combativity Classification. Big points, big progression possible if we can come away with this jersey. 440 kilometers so far after 6 stages. I'm getting more tired as the stages go on, though, so it's getting harder. My condition is also low, but Tarme is low. Versness is not good. Got to watch out for guys like Michael Woods and Lenny Martinez, who are incredibly strong in comparison to me if they want to get in a breakaway, but we have a healthy advantage over them of 140, 150 kilometers and only a couple stages and shorter stages that remain. So the biggest one to watch out for is Tarme. I'm going to definitely get into the break for stage 7 and see where we're at the end of that stage. We might be able to just sit on and cruise through stage 8 if we are fortunate. First one off the front, immediately Lenny Martinez, though, is attacking as we speak and could make life difficult on me. But we're looking at just over 157 kilometers for the length of today's stage. We're looking at just shy of 150 for the final stage, and that is the type of situation that is going to set me up nicely for the collection of the kilometers we need to hold others off. Tarme, of course, is the primary one we want to make sure is not in the group. There's not much that I can do to control that unless I were to control my teammates, but with the likes of Vanderpool here, this is going to be an interesting situation. The first group, 7 riders. There's 14 chasing just seconds behind us. Morkov and Garcia Cortina further behind that. Peloton's only a minute down, which means we are not established yet.
Able to pull off a solo win.
But of the 7 that are here, Toynes, Martinez, those are the 2 that have a good amount of kilometers so far. All shy of 300, which means I started with a 140 advantage. But it's how long can I hang on? And that second group has now made contact with us. And no one here comes in the higher... No, Michael Woods does. Michael Woods has joined in. Simon Geschke as well. 290 for him. So we're looking at a range of guys from about 270 to 302.
There's a group finish.
But again, the closest second and third place guys, the ones that were serious threats, are not in this group. Now 21 are here. 2 more chasing, and the Peloton still just 1 minute behind. I am going the conserve route, not contributing. No reason to contribute with this many.
Now wears the Decathlon AG2R colors.
Too many riders, I think, to compete for the intermediate sprint, but there also might be an attack within the group. So as we come up on 1.4K, I need to at least push forward to the front to guard against an attack and conserve some energy with this. I've already burnt a lot of energy, and we haven't even gotten anywhere near the first climb. Nobody's pushing right now. Nope. Okay. Well, now there is. I'm just soft sprinting here to make it and not lose anything. Vanderpool takes the sprint here. And we are 21, but the Peloton remains just that minute 10 behind, which we've only pulled out 10 seconds on them. It is starting to open, so maybe, just maybe, they are going to sit up here and let us be the group. Yeah, it is opening rather quickly. We've added a good 20 seconds as Remy Cavagna then goes and attacks, and they're going to chase him down. No, they are not going to chase him down. It is opening to a 2-minute gap. We're going to head to the first climb, the Alscat, the Madeleine. This is our first massive mountain of this series coming up here in a moment, and we haven't even reached the climb, and I'm halfway toast without contributing. High tempo, tons of quality surrounding me. I do not think I'm going to make it over this first climb, even though technically I am a climber. I do obviously have a gel to use and will need to use. Cavagna going back to the Peloton. Gap shrinking, already back down inside 2 minutes. But now that they caught Cavagna, they seem to be letting back up. 24.5 kilometers, 6% gradient. This is a beast of a climb, and my gel is going to have to get used rather early. Toyne's already out the back. There's one of our chief competitors in the break. He's gone straight out the back very early on in this one. I'm going to go ahead and use my gel now, early.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
I'm just hanging on to the group, so there's really not much I need to do to ride manually at this point, and just keeping it moderately sped up. First phase of the climb is definitely one of the harder of, I'd say, 3 sections that are pretty difficult. It's going to ease off here shortly for a while. I used my gel, and I'm more tired than I was. This is I'm not going to make it anywhere near the top of the climb at this rate, which means we are going to lose kilometers on some of those guys chasing, and it's going to put them in reach. While I'm distancing myself from the 2 main competitors in the Combativity. Peloton's only a minute behind already. My teammates need to use their gels. Yeah, the big thing to watch out for is how long does this group hang on. And with a slender lead of less than a minute, it might not be that long. But I'm out of the group. I'm not going to be collecting those kilometers anymore. I'm solo. That's a problem because, you know, Michael Woods and co are still there. Lenny Martinez, still there. They are going to gain on me, but I was 140 kilometers ahead of them. Even if they stay away to the finish, which they probably won't with this small of a gap, they are not going to collect the 140 they need, but they might collect 80. They might close that gap down to about 60 kilometers. So I have gained a good, 70K today in the Combativity, and it's definitely opened up that gap on those closest competitors, but we're also going to have that gap shrink, and that's going to put more riders within range of still being able to take it away from me on stage 8, on the final stage. So it looks like I will have to be in the breakaway yet again on that final stage. By the way, that front group is down to 10, and Woods and Martinez are still there. Woods takes the KOM. He goes over the top first, but not in a breakaway. Nope. Yes, there is a breakaway. Woods and Carthy and Martinez have attacked yet again at the top to get that KOM. Tarme is now in the breakaway. He did not last long. He got dropped there pretty quick, but he was in the breakaway for a couple kilometers and is falling off. He attacked the peloton, but he's going back to it now. I think he only collected maybe 1 kilometer there momentarily, and the front group is still Michael Woods dominant. Lenny Martinez didn't last too long up there, and Michael Woods has now been caught. That group of 27 that's chasing, he is back to that group, if not already behind it. So it looks like I lost about 60K comparatively with Michael Woods. Looks like I lost 1K after getting dropped, but ultimately on the day gained about, 75, 80 kilometers on Tarme. Opened the gap on him. Whoever's our third place guy was nowhere near. It's Guillaume Martin who currently leads, but it's a very slender lead, and it comes back together. 6 riders now. Evenepoel, Roglic, Bardet. Now down to 5 as Martin is dropped. O'Connor has caught and left him behind. Gegenhardt, the current race leader, is next on the road just behind them. And I, by the way, was like 130th after getting dropped after being in the breakaway, and then, still getting dropped on that first climb. As Pogacar wins the stage ahead of Evenepoel, Vingegaard, then Bardet, Roglic, Gegenhardt, O'Connor, Johannesson, Bilbao, Carthy. Okay, we've already got the top 10 there. None of my teammates are anywhere near the front. We are very much not in this thing. But I've gone all the way up to 52nd from, 80 spots further back over these last 3 climbs. And I actually ended up the first member of my team to reach the finish line, surprisingly, considering we were at the very back there for a while. 7th stage saw just massive time gaps. I was first on the team, more than half an hour down. We were anywhere from 34 to 51 minutes down overall. And you can see even by Gegenhardt, he was over a minute behind. By Martin, you're talking 3 minutes already, 4 minutes plus, just to the back end of the top 10. So huge gaps. It's really going to shake up the GC in this one, which still sees Gegenhardt leading. Evenepoel second. Vingegaard jumps onto the podium. Roglic, O'Connor, Pogačar from nowhere in this race is up to 7th. Van Aert, the big loser in this one, not the major mountain climber, except he is when he wants to be, and that's why I think he's massively underrated. He's not going to be Pogačar or Vingegaard level as a climber, but he's somebody that I think is good enough to climb with Evenepoel when and where he wants to. It's just he chooses to be a stage winner, to have more classics style, to be a little more punchy, to the better, stronger flat rating. When he wants it, he can show he's the best all-around rider in the world, in my opinion. Van Aert is so incredibly strong, and while he is not the strongest climber, pure climber, we've seen him time and time again on stages, mountain stages, supporting Vingegaard and going very deep, going very, very late, and being there, and dropping guys like O'Connor and Bardet, Buitrago, Yates, like watching those guys get dropped by the legs of Wout van Aert. That is that second tier group of climbers. It's not your Pogačar, it's not your Vingegaard. Now, with age, especially on a new team, it's really showing that Roglic does not have the legs he had a couple years ago. He's not in that top tier anymore. He's dropped to that next tier down. And Van Aert is in that tier when he wants to be. But here in the game and with these ratings, he's definitely not. So the change in the combativity is the gap to Woods has definitely shrunk. He is now 98 kilometers behind me. The final stage is just shy of 150. So if I can get 50k off the front, even if Woods is in the group, I've got that combativity wrapped up. Lenny Martinez also closing that gap a bit, but we're still talking about 130 plus, meaning I only need about 20k to hold off Martinez, to hold off Van Gils, to hold off Tarame. I think I've got Geschke covered, so I'm down to maybe 4 guys, and most of them it's all of like 20k that I need to cover off. And then I gotta watch out for Woods on that final stage. I am well far back in the peloton here to start this stage, and we immediately go into a climb. Luckily, nobody has attacked yet. There we go. First one out. That's helpful. Carthy attacks right there with me. But again, I just need to make it 50k, so I don't need to work too hard here, but already out to 23 seconds. Wow, that was all my red bar already. Okay, I see Martinez is on the attack. Woods is here.
He's an excellent puncher who also knows how to climb in the mountains. On the other hand, it's better for him that he finishes alone because his capabilities as a sprinter really are limited.
15 in the group. Versness is here. Woods is here. Versness is no longer a threat. Woods is the big threat. He's the guy who's within 100k. I need to survive 50k of this, but I've made it into the group. We're already 2.5 minutes ahead of the peloton. They're giving us a healthy advantage. I just need to hang on for 50k.
He's a good puncher.
And we've got the jersey.
Just keep a close eye on him on short climbs.
Big thing I'm going to have to watch out for here is an attack for the KOM points at the top to split the group and find myself being left behind. So So really having to watch out for this one. 1.6K. I'm going to do the gel early. This is not a situation I want to find myself in of potentially getting dropped. At the same time, I feel like I'm about to get dropped. I have no red bar. I'm going to take over. I am getting left behind. They attacked. They got out of the saddle, and I do not have the red bar to keep up. And I have been dropped here right off the bat. The group is down to 9.
Here's the positions over the last climb.
I've caught Damar, but Woods was 4th over the top, so he is in the group, and I am now at risk. Okay, we've nearly caught the group. I've got a couple riders with me. We are 20 seconds behind the 12 of them. 10 seconds behind, and we are back in the group. So I do lose a few kilometers there. The need for 50 continues. We are 25K into the stage, and I've covered probably 15 to 20 of what I need. No, not even. I've covered about 10 of what I need. I need to hang on for another 40K or so. Red bar is back. The energy, the blue bar is limited. Even making it over the next climb. I am at risk, folks. I am very much at risk. There's 11 chasing, 2.5 minutes back. The Peloton's 8.5 minutes down. They've just let us go. Which means the stage win's almost certainly coming from this group, which means the kilometers will be there. These guys will last till the end of the stage, which means I really do need to survive that 50K, because Michael Woods is easily the strongest, or one of the strongest of this group.
Is listed as second category. It will
And
earn
I'm already
5 points for the first,
hurting.
3 points for the second, 2 points for the third, and 1 point for the
I don't think I'm going to make it over the top of this climb. Does not look like I am. I'm done. I got another 8K in. I've gotten about 18 kilometers, roughly, in the break today. I do not think I am going to hang on for the 50K I need. Let's verify that Mr. Threat is there. He's not. He's not there. Batistella's there. Woods is here. Van Gils, Martinez. Oh, that's not where I am, but that's group 2. They're half a minute down. Okay, if my kilometers aren't counting, theirs aren't either. They're back at the front. But there was a definite stretch there. They got left behind at the top of that previous climb, and they did not get that stretch of 15, 20K. They're tired too. They are tired too. We need to see that group break up again, though. I'm not going to make it over the top of this climb with this group, most likely, unless our tempo remains just steady. We are 4 minutes back, with the Peloton just shy of 5 minutes behind us. And I do get dropped by the group. So, the breakaway thing is very much not happening. The big question is, Woods is dropped by that group, though. So Woods has been dropped. Yes, Woods has been dropped. I am back to the Peloton. Yeah. And straight out the back. But the big thing is, Woods only got a few more kilometers at the front. And his chances of getting the 100 is looking less and less likely. They are 2 minutes behind the front group. I might just hang on to this thing, folks. Through exhaustion. Not just of us, but of Woods as well. Of Lenny Martinez as well. Peloton's already down to 48. None of my teammates are there, so I can't even tell them to use their gels. It's too late for that. Filippo Zanna is solo at the front. He has 0 kilometers in the Combativity. This is his first day off the front. So no threat whatsoever. Hugh Carthy's third, Gil Martin. And we're looking at the favorites being down to just 9. And Pogacar is well down the road behind this group. Van Aert is well down. Wild final stage here. Last breakaway rider, Filippo Zana, off the front. Battistella has been caught by the lead group of Vingegaard, Venepol, Gegenhardt. Pogacar is back in with the group. He had dropped behind. O'Connor is there. Roglic is there. Penultimate climb of this Dauphiné, and their group has gotten larger. They're still 6 minutes behind Zana. I don't think they're going to catch him. Looks like Zana's going to take the stage. Group is now down to 9. A few riders had caught up to them, but they've once again dropped those guys. And they're now on their way through the descent towards the final climb of this tour. 5K from the end. Catching Zana pretty quickly, but at 5 minutes behind. Looks unlikely that they'll catch him. Down to 7. Other than Caruso, they're all in the top 8 of the standings. The whole podium is there, but 5th and 6th are missing. Pogacar looking to move up into the top 5. Zana takes the stage win. Gegenhardt's there. It looks like he's going to hang on to the overall race victory, but Roglic takes 2nd on the stage. Okay, Gegenhardt lost possibly a little time. No, the group was still there together. They were there at the finish line together, so that is them. Crossing line 64th was yet again first on the team, even after being in the break day after day. Holy crap, folks. My entire team, minus myself, was eliminated. Out of time. De Kaiser was the last rider on the road. So I'm not at all surprised that he was eliminated on time. It's the final stage anyway. But I end up being the only rider of our team that actually finished the race. Stage classification, looking down, the big group that I was with. I was 64th across the line, and I just pulled away from this huge group that included guys like Van der Poel, Ackerman, Pedersen. It was a very large group. And then looks like at least one group behind that made it. And my 5 teammates were the only 5 that ended up getting eliminated on time. They were literally the last 5 riders on the road. That is how weak our team is. Crap. So, moving up to number 2 or number 3 comparatively to my teammates doesn't mean that I'm getting good yet. Combativity for the stage. Zana gets 144k. We have Woods, just 39. Woods only collected 39, and like I said, I only ended up getting about 20. It was actually only 18. But that means I only lost 21 to Woods, and I don't think any of the others were threatening. 51st overall, an hour and 48 minutes behind. Almost cracked the top 50, not quite. Gegenhardt does hang on to the overall race victory after that breakaway success that we had on the early stage, where we took a significant advantage over the field, and it put him from not competitive to well into the lead. And it was turned out to be enough. It was about a 3.5 minute advantage, I think, that he was carrying. He only lost 2 of those minutes. Venepol, the closest to him. Roglic gets onto the podium ahead of Vingegaard by 2 seconds. Pogacar does crack the top 5 with that performance at the end. Bilbao also moving up. Bardet and O'Connor, the ones who slip out of those top spots. O'Connor down to 8th from 5th. Caruso jumping well up the order to 9th, even though he was way behind. He had nearly a 10-minute gap between him and O'Connor. Vlasov jumps into the top 10, Van Aert out of the top 10, and gaps start getting pretty big real fast after that. Hugh Carthy wins the KOM. Pogacar wins the points classification. Venepol, the young rider, by nearly half an hour. Bora Hansgrohe as the team classification, and we've got to be dead last, right? 21st. 21st out of 22. Not sure how we managed to not. I suppose there was still a time at the end of the stage, on that final stage. I guess taking on the second and third rider, even though they were both eliminated. It was more comfortable than I thought in the end, but I do win. The Combativity Bastella moves well up into third, but it was still behind Woods, and Woods was the one who threatened. But Woods, like myself, was exhausted, and so he and I both see ourselves get dropped and left behind fairly early in that one, and he did not gain up much ground. It was enough. It was enough, folks. That is a Combativity win. That's some points for the team. Individual rankings on the season so far has Pogačar out front with Evenepoel, Van Aert, Roglic, and Mohoric as the top 5. I am 57th with 41 points, and I have more than the rest of the team combined at this point, as we have just 71 as a team, which is 23rd. Good news is that is definitely not last. That we are ahead of 6 teams, well ahead of 6 teams, and I've out-earned those 6 teams myself. We are maybe in touching distance of Tudor and Astana. As for the Continental Pro teams, we are definitely near the top of the rankings of the Continental Pro teams, competing against the mini and powerful World Tour teams. Haven't eclipsed the top 2 yet, but I do get better. 68.9, the new rating. My recovery is up to a B. I'm happy for that. That's plus 2 points. Agility is already at, or is at an A plus until I make a mistake and crash. Cobblestone didn't encounter anything in that one, but resistance goes plus 2. No stamina gains in that race, but there was an individual time trial in there, so I do gain a prologue point, 2 time trial points. I get 3 mountain points though. Huge, because I'm supposed to be a mountain guy, but I had not encountered but 1 mountain stage prior. With 2 more and a medium mountain stage, that brings me up quite a bit. We're not going to lead over the top of anything until we get a few of those generic mountain ones, because we're just not good. But that 68 is looking a lot better, and maybe I can lead over a few climbs in a weaker field, one of those more Continental Pro kind of races. Medium mountains up to a 64, that was only a plus 1. Definitely looked at a little weaker there, but that was our very first medium mountain stage that we have encountered in the game so far. Hills rating, plus 1. We're 2 hilly stages away from getting another automatic, and we've got to lead a couple more Cat 3 or Cat 4 climbs to get another point there. Those are definitely the next 2 that we are in position to earn. Acceleration, plus 2. The intermediate sprints and those Cat 3, 4 climbs are definitely the next points available, but that acceleration's definitely getting better. Now it's 70. Sprint, 65. That too, right? You've got to have the acceleration. You've got to have the top speed to win those head-to-heads. And the intermediate sprints are going to be the big key on that one going forward, and we inch our way better and better to actually being able to beat riders. Right now we have to just catch people out. We have to attack early and them not follow us right away and then hang on. Winning proper sprints has not been a thing, but as I get that few more points, we can actually start to beat non-sprinters, at least head to head. We can beat non-punchers head to head. Flat rating, I need more from this one, but finish a flat stage, 1 more will get us a point. A time trial will get us a point. Cobbled sector will get us a point. That would get us a few more, but my flat rating is atrocious. 68.9 and climbing. We've come a long ways in this rookie season. We've got further yet to go. We are almost done with the breakaway kind of stuff, but Cat 3, Cat 4 climbs, you got to be in the breakaway for that. Intermediate sprints, you've got to be in the breakaway for that. So for a while yet, at least until you get to win 5 intermediate sprints, we've got to be a regular breakaway rider. Until we get those Cat 3 and 4 climbs and those Cat 2 climbs out of the way, we've got to be in breaks. Then you can start focusing on GC and winning the stages and developing that way, being competitive that way. Work yet to do, but progress definitely being made. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.